Thank you so very much for being back. And if you just joined us, this is still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Let's head straight to our main conversation for today. The Nigeria Labour Congress NLC has announced plans for a nationwide protest on December 17 to demand stronger action against insecurity. In a communique issued after its NEC meeting in Lagos, signed by President JOHESU and Acting General Secretary Benson Oba, the NLC condemned the recent abduction of 24 schoolgirls in Kebbi and the killing of a school staff member. It also criticized the withdrawal of security personnel from the school before the attack. The NEC described the surge in school attacks as alarming and urged the federal government to secure all vulnerable institutions. It resolved to mobilize all affiliates for the protest and demanded urgent investigation and prosecution of those responsible for security lapses. Other issues discussed included the tertiary education crisis, the JOHESU strike, and efforts to revive LASCO. The communique also raised concerns about the Labour Party's direction and warned that failure to address insecurity and other national challenges could trigger wider industrial actions. They stressed that the December 17 protest will be peaceful but firm, calling on government and security agencies to better protect communities as the NLC continues to push for workers' welfare and national stability. Let's get talking, ladies and gentlemen. I still have with me my honorable guest, Olubenga Paul Ayonuga and Innocent Adoluba. Thank you so very much, gentlemen, for hanging on. We truly do appreciate you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so very much, Mr. Ayonuga. Innocent, let me start with you on this particular matter. In the 90s, at least we're all aware when Adams Oshomole was the NLC chair, he was very strong-willed. He was like the second or the shadow president of Nigeria at the time. Even up until the Fourth Republic with Olusegun Obasanjo, he was still very strong-willed. When the NLC spoke, every person, has a way of respecting what they have said. Now, we do not know if the NLC are now like NANS, National Association of Students in Nigeria, because when they speak, it doesn't seem to ring a bell. What's wrong with the NLC?
How do I put it? It's neither here nor there, but in some sectors, it is argued that the politics in Nigeria is getting stronger than the air we breathe. And when politics permeates, a strength becomes a weakness. You could see in today's world, NLC will tell you we are going on strike. Yeah. NLC, Pengasan will say they are not going. Nupeng will say they are not going. So, who is NLC? So, when that single umbrella gets permeated, these are the fracas we see. And people may not like it. The government we run now, especially from the Buhari time till now, well, the evidence are there. They specialize in gagging free speech.
Okay.
And the best avenue for free speech is on the streets. That protest you see. Yeah. Nigerians who go to protest are armless. They just want to voice their frustrations or list their needs on the street. The government from 2015 till now are protest shy. They believe the matters should not get to the public. That way, the global community can shower us with flowers.
But they marched on protest themselves.
Well, we'll get there. Of how well this government is running, such that if market women say they are protesting, I used to be ashamed, Henry. The government tells us that protests will be hijacked. It means government has good information beforehand.
Okay.
So if I know that protests will be hijacked, I'll be there with my security people along the protest, waiting to deal with the protest hijackers. No. The government paints everybody in one brush. You hear shootings, killings, you disperse protesters. So, to that extent, people within the NLC who should protest are among those who are disillusioned. Two, several appointments within unions are hugely political. We cannot see or authenticate these inducements.
Okay.
But where people are heavily compromised, he who pays the piper dictates the tune. So when NLC calls for a strike at this kind of time, like you said in the days of yore, Nigerians are happy. Oh, people are going out there to voice what we feel. I don't think even me on this analytical table or on this analysis table feels any bite, any sting, any venom, any weight from Oga Joe Ajero and his crew. Maybe my colleague Ayonuga. I think you can help me from there.
I love you to speak on this matter. Do we have an NLC that barks and never bites, especially like Innocent said, from 2015, with the coming of APC, we've seen a total debasement of what pressure groups are right now in Nigeria, and not to forget, they are very fundamental if we talk about democracy in Nigeria. What's your take, please?
The destruction of NLC is nothing to do with APC, as simple as that. NLC started destroying itself when they broke into two, and then we had NLC separate and TUC separate. And that did not happen under the watch of the APC government. That actually happened under the watch of the PDP government. That is one. Then two, you were talking about how when Adams Oshiomhole speaks back in the day and everybody chivers. And that is because Adams Oshiomhole doesn't just speak when it is time for politics. When workers are saying that they are being used as casual staffs only, and they are not being taken care of in their various company, Adams Oshiomhole will go there and shut down the company and rescue them. So the workers back then were loyal to the NNPC because the NNPC was actually doing the job that it was set up for, which is to protect labor rights in the workplaces across the nation. You know, back then, most of the companies on Wemco Road do not like Adams Oshiomhole because they know that many of them, you know how all these Chinese and Indian companies will casualize staff, will underpay them, will not give them working tools, safety equipment, and then people will be having accidents at work and nothing will be done to protect them. So in all those instances, you always see NLC rise up to its responsibility. Tell me one time in the last 10 years that you've seen NLC rise up when the matter affects workers in several companies that they have protested and they have properly, logically helped to resolve the matter in favor of the workers in those places in the last 10 years. But you only see them come up when it comes to politics. So you won't blame people who sees all their protests from the prism of politics, because that has already watered down their power. I remember when I was SUG president back in my undergraduate days. So I didn't belong to any fraternal brotherhood, and the person that I was contesting against was number one of one of the fraternal brotherhoods on campus. And so he came to me and told me to step down, and I said, no, I won't step down, because it's just a contest of popularity. And the people were able to rise up. Before he left my house, you know, he came with about 6 of his guys thinking that they could intimidate me. But before 3-4 minutes, I don't know how the news got out that they have invaded Oluwayo's house, because that's my nickname, you know, and all the students came and blocked the entirety of that location, such that by the time they came out, they knew that they cannot escape. They can only shoot once, they will not be able to shoot twice. And why were people behind me then? It was because when somebody collects any student's phone or steal any student's something, me, I'll wait till 2 a.m. Then I wasn't even SUG president. I'll wait till 2 a.m. I'll go and knock on the door of the person who stole that person something during the daytime. And of course, it's a psychological warfare. You know that somebody that came to knock your door at 2 a.m. does not come playing, even though I didn't have anything, but it was psychology and it worked. So the same way with NLC right now, we don't see them. Today, there are many illegal workers from China who are taking over Nigerians' job, to whom Nigerian workers have been writing about to the NNPC all the time. I can mention from the steel rolling industry to even oil sector to the mining sector. They have been writing NLC about it. You don't see NLC going out gun blazing. So when NLC now wants to go out gun blazing to protest against the federal government on matters that to many workers, they don't see it as directly affecting them. So they will not trust the NLC. They will think that, oh, they want to go and use us to go and negotiate and collect money. And by the time they collect the money, they will say they have called off the strike. That is the problem. So it is not it is a problem of how NMPC itself, first started with the breaking up from NMPC, then you had TUC.
Are you still there?
As you get that consensus. Then back to the matter of the protest on ground that they want to do is NLC knows
Are you still there, Mr. Ayonuga?
answers, not do anything on the issue, but they will just ignore everybody. So the NLC cannot say it doesn't know that this current administration.
All right, I think we're having a bit of a communication challenge.
We've seen the Minister of Defense change in Nigeria. So it shows to you that the present administration is doing something on the matter. So why call for a nationwide strike that can be hijacked by whichever interest group and turn into a chaos?
Sorry, Mr. Ayonuga, sorry for interjecting here. Yes, sorry for interjecting here. You just talked about hijacking, yet again. Don't you think that this is a familiar term? Like Innocent had said, that we often use just to reduce the strength of protest in Nigeria. We can't continue like this. If, like Innocent said, if we talk about people hijacking a protest, why not the government that knows that there might be hijacking go and help so there wouldn't be hijacking? Protest is a fundamental right of Nigerians according to the Constitution as amended.
I agree, but you see, back in the days, we had more intelligent people going out on protest. Have you been to? I was a full-time journalist some time ago before I changed my line of work and started doing only commentary with my other line of work. And I've gone to several protests to interview people. During the NSAS protest in October, I've interviewed and spoken to many people. You see, many people in Nigeria, they will go out on any protest called for without even understand the issue on ground. And when they don't understand the issue on ground, it is easy for them to hijack that protest and turn it into something else. When we say hijack, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is violence or something. For example, you are talking about labor, calling on the president to stand up and tighten its belt and ensure security of life and property in the country. You will get there, somebody will be talking about cryptocurrency. You will get there, somebody will be talking about how Nigeria did not qualify for World Cup. You will get there, somebody will be talking about, and this discordant tune from the masses, it will turn the protest on its head before you know. And it has happened far too many times for us to ignore it. It will be foolish for anybody to ignore it and say, oh, by the grace of God and inshallah, everything will go smoothly. We know that even if the government does not plant anybody to destabilize the protest, all these things happen naturally. You and I know. Is it the same way that your set, you people from your age group, my age group, that they comprehend issues of national importance that the people of nowadays comprehend issues of national importance. Let's be sincere with ourselves. Is it the same way? So you know that, and if they said if the value of a thing is not understood or appreciated, the abuse is inevitable. So it is not about government doing fear mongering amongst us. It's a reality that is staring us in the face. How many Nigerian youths today even know about this protest? How many of them watch news channel and will stay with news channel program to hear the crux of the matter from start to finish? The same people who will stay glued to their TV when it is BB Niger or other non-useful something to within 5 minutes max, if they are patient enough, they have tuned off. You know, it's only maybe when they hear some controversy, like the last time when me and my brother there were arguing and were shouting at each other. That's one, they will like it. They want to hear it. But if you are explaining matters quietly, comfortably, without resorting to shouting because you are laying bare the analysis, how many people, let's be sincere with ourselves, this is not a matter of the marketing stuff. We know how many of us in the media industry are struggling, especially those of us who don't do entertainment, who do only strictly maybe political, serious matters. Let me put it that. You know how many of us struggle. It is a reality that is staring you and I in the face. It's one of the reasons why I left and went back to my engineering, so that I can be working where I will make good money. You know, but you see, if it is sports, entertainment, I mean, many of our colleagues who are sports and entertainment reporters, they are more respected than us. They are more well known than us. That is the reality that is staring us in the face. And these are the same people you want to call out for a protest, and you do not expect them to abuse the process. Let us be realistic with ourselves. That's what I would say.
All right, beautiful. Let's be realistic with ourselves. I'm talking about reality, Innocent Adulu, but the crux of the matter here is on insecurity. The federal government said that they have received 100 of the 300 school children abducted in Niger State from the Catholic school. And about 100 plus are still with the bandits right there.
168.
Yes, exactly. So, what's your take on this? You know, that was what we're discussing on our first timeline during the newspaper reviews. Nigeria, the Air Force, carried out forensic bombing of coupists in Benin. But the same Air Force will love to go into a peace deal and a table talk, sit-down meeting with bandits they should exterminate. What's your take? Because that's the reason the NLC are calling for this strike. So don't you think that this is a direct desire of the government to have allowed this happen in the first place?
Well, if we want to go back, I had said everybody knows charity begins at home. Our government are kind of inclined towards charity begins abroad. I'm indifferent with all of this. It's a fundamental human right in law, simply put, legally sanctioned claims of individuals to express themselves. It doesn't need to even come from labor. You are here years ago or nowadays, you hear Two-Face wants to protest. Oh yeah, no, he has changed his mind.
Yes, exactly.
You know, look, we are lazy. And it benefits our government of the day. If I don't like how much is this current gas per kg, and my neighborhood are sad, whether we are 12 or 20, we can protest. And I dare say to the very intelligent colleague Ayanoga, everybody cannot understand before joining a protest. Worldwide, there is no throng of crowd you see in thousands or millions, and everybody understood it like the organizers.
So some people are bandwagons.
Of course. Of course. No, the Joe, what's his name? The Labour...
Joe Ajero.
Ajero and Upa and co. are custodians of the knowledge of labor in organizing this protest, Henry. They've even included among their demands that labor members should realign with labor parties and strengthen it. It's an interesting.
So it's not political.
I don't. None of
Labour Party.
See, worldwide.
Yes.
Worldwide, the labor unions are those who strengthen the labor. There's Labour Party in England.
UK, yeah.
It is in Nigeria when you call Labour Party, eloquent people will come out to paint it black. It seems Labour Party is tied to
the labor union.
Yeah, you know, it's workers. Look, workers.
The party of the workers.
Yes, workers are the bedrock of society, and the principal function of government is to implement policies that favor its citizens, including securing lives and properties. So it is not out of place for Mr. Ajeru and the labor exco's to cry for labor unionists to strengthen. It's an aberration, Henry, that you are a member of Trade Union Congress or Pengasan or Nupeng or whatever, Nigeria Union of Labor, and be propagating the principles of a party opposing your Labor Party. And that's why I tell you that politics have permeated our abdomen. There's no how you call in Ghana when the price of bread goes up, there's a protest. Somebody who has not eaten for 3 days, doesn't know what's going on, joins the throng. Like I repeated, by reconnoiter, by intelligence, you know in whatever way this protest will be hijacked, security are on standstill. You go to France, people protest in weeks on a road, and it's no more motorable.
And sometimes,
nobody gets shot.
And sometimes stone even the president, Emmanuel Macron, with eggs.
If you try that here, God forgive me, the parent will come and pick the corpse of that person. And like they will tell you, heaven will not fall. You know. So, going by your question,
yes,
I start again. Protests are the way people express themselves within their fundamental human. Nobody should go protesting and snatch a trader's beverage. And no, that's not protest. I've been at Ojota one day. That day I prayed to get home to my young family. That was the last day, I think, of the...
Census?
Yes. I was coming from Unilag. I didn't drive. So by the time I was on the bridge crossing at Ojota, I saw about 40 soldiers to like 5 protesters. I'm telling you in the name of God. And one of the guys, as I was coming down the stairs, was close to me. That's when I started praying. You know, in Nigeria, anything can be attributed to stray bullets. By then, my soul will be, I don't know,
over in somewhere.
You know. And the policeman was begging the man, Oga, please don't resist your placard. Oga, we have instructions. Oga, please, I like you. Oga, please. And in my ear, I pitied that policeman. We don't know his instruction, but I am hearing him that, I mean, Oga, like today is no more protests. How is that man doing something wrong? Alone, all the other people out of fear have stayed across. Henry, this man thought, and as I'm talking, he just started this protest and carried this and moved like up to 20 steps. The policeman was asking his Oga, like what should I do to him? But I saw up to 3-4 media houses. Immediately the man said, they just took their camera. And I'm sure in the dilemma of what kind of instruction you will give, this man is not harming any, you know. So the spirit for protest is intimidated. Henry, if I tell you there's protest tomorrow, I'm going, you will pity me.
Yeah.
Being a journalist yourself, you will pity me if I will return alive. And my casualty will be the undoing. Oga, I think you should find the discipline of listening. When you spoke, I listened very well at length, so that my points can land, sir. So the discipline, the appetite for protest is watered down with threats, menace, and like you said, it was in this country we saw the throng at Ojota. President Goodluck, Jonathan, and co. were called unprintable names on camera. People congregate there like a cathedral, day in, there were speeches to different spectrum. Protest was allowed. And that's why I started by saying it seemed to me that since 2023, we have a government that is protest shy.
Okay.
As long as the cameras worldwide are void of protesting Nigerians, this government is doing well.
All right, beautiful. Mr. Yonuga, at this point, you wanted to reply to him, but I'd love you to add this question. This answers to the questions that I have right now. During the days of Nadeko, when we were hoping that democracy would return in Nigeria, we had the Kudirat radio, we had lots of other protests. People who didn't even know what they were protesting for joined. And today we have the democracy that we enjoy. But sadly, you would agree with me, lots of pundits have argued that what we practice today is civilian dictatorship that uses emotional blackmailing to curtail a protest, no matter how minute it is. So what's your take on this? I would love you to equally do a follow-up to what Mr. Innocent had to say. Thank you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Yonuga?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yes. So did you get the questions?
I got part of it, but what I'm saying is that in all your reply all day, you have not spoken to the fact that I raised on how NLC itself has watered down it and the trust that people had in it. You chose to focus on how government waters down protest or are protest shy, but you are not speaking to the fact that when gas increased recently, sometime this year, that we didn't see NLC go out gun blazing to say why. Because at the time, gas was going down to around 700 naira per kg. And then all of a sudden, it shot up to as much as 2,000 naira. We didn't see NLC, go out gun blazing. There are so many companies that have cried out to NLC that they are being maltreated. Their staffs who are labor union members, that they are being maltreated in their various companies. You didn't speak to how NLC ignored those ones. That how NLC only finds its voice when it is a political related protest. But when workers, real workers who truly need NLC, the reason why NLC is founded, you didn't respond to that allegation. We cannot continue to hide behind the finger. I don't know whether you can hear me because it's frozen from my end here.
Yes, I can hear you very well. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. We can all continue to hide behind the finger. The fact still remains that it was NLC that killed itself.
But don't you think, sorry for interjecting, Mr. Yonuga.
Not trustworthy.
Yes, sorry for interjecting here. Don't you think at this point in 2025, with the desire of moving Nigeria to the next level, don't you think it's okay if we forget about the messenger and concentrate on the message? And the message is that we want a working Nigeria, and that cannot be achievable when we have infiltration of the issues that we have in Nigeria, from security to economic downturn to loss of the profligacy of leaders in Nigeria and so many other things. Don't you think that is the crux of the matter, and we should deal with that and forget about where it is coming from, whether NLC or wherever?
No. My co-analyst has said that NLC is the custodian of labor laws and activities. And if they had failed in their primary responsibility, you want me to now believe them? They say once beaten, twice shy. Did you know that during the Pengasan, I think it's Pengasan versus Dangote issue?
Dangote issue, yeah.
Did you know that the workers? Yes. Did you know that the workers had a very juicy, better deal? But it was NMPC that got them the terrible short length of the negotiation that they got now. Did you know? So you want that worker who was once beaten by NLC, who trusted the information and wanted to focus on the message and not the messenger. You want him to focus on the message and not the messenger again? They say once beaten, twice shy. I still maintain my point. NLC killed itself, and it did not happen during this APC tenure. It rather happened before this APC tenure. It happened between 2011 and 2015. That was when NLPC killed itself. That was around the time when TUC was founded, that first and foremost balkanized NLC, and that was when NLC started. And you are alluding to how Labour Party in the UK is synonymous with Labour Union. I beg to disagree. I beg to disagree. Even though the Labour Party does a more Labour-friendly law all the time they are in office, they are not synonymous with the various Labour unions in the UK, you know, and so also many other countries. You can't eat your cake and have it. People in the Labour Union have right to belong to whatever political party they believe in. After all, if you are saying that, why didn't Labour Party give Adams or Shomole the opportunity to contest on their platform? Why is it that it was on the platform of another party that Adams or Shomole became governor twice and also became senator right now? And if you have been following Senate affairs every day, if you have been listening, you won't say that Adams or Shomole is not doing a mighty, wonderful job in the Senate. Except you have not been listening, except you are only, taking the few, whatever they want to say to discredit him. You won't say Adam Oshiomhole is not doing a mighty, wonderful job in the Senate. So, when Labour Party is trying to, if Labour Party truly controls, if Labour Union truly controls Labour Party, then automatically NLC president should also double as the party chairman. All this issue of back and forth that we've been having should not even have arose any in the first place. So, as far as I'm concerned, Labour Union, NLC, has shown itself to be untrustworthy, and so it will be foolish for me to trust it, not because I'm afraid of protest. I'm an Ijebu man. There are things that I can still do that God protect me, and even when they shoot or whatever, but you see, I want to follow who I know will see my issue to logical end, not someone who wants to use me to negotiate for some juicy offer from here and there from the government, and once they get their juicy offers, they abandon all the protests halfway, and it does not achieve any result. Meanwhile, some innocent people have been injured or incarcerated along the way. Did you see Labour Party go all out to fight to ensure the release of protesters in the past? Between that NSAS that you spoke about and now, did you see Labour Party, concertedly, actively?
You mean the NLC or Labour Party? Which one now?
NLC.
Okay. Yeah.
Have you seen any concerted effort on their part when people are arrested for protesting for their right to help get them out? Because these are core responsibilities of the Labour Union. And if they have failed in all those their core responsibilities, I will be a fool to ignore the messenger and follow the message blindly.
Well, I just truly do hope that at this point, lots of Nigerians will not be asking for a total dissolving of the NLC right now, because that is what it is looking. Lots of people would argue that, sadly, I do not know if the comparison works, but what is happening to the NLC seems to be what is happening to the PDP, the collapse of those organizations. So what's your take, Innocent Ajoluba?
Well, I'm going another route that my co-analysts may disagree with. The permeation is what is, the government is interested in who becomes the chairman or president of the Trade Union Congress.
Yes, in one part.
Or Pengasan. I don't know if it is this labor they are yet to infiltrate. I cannot tell. And so I will say this again. It is political witchcraft for an incumbent party to kill opposition party and declare them weak and not worth contesting elections. as we speak, ADC, Labour Party, PDP are reportedly victims of the APC. Politics.
So is that connected to the NLC issue at this point? Is that what it's looking like?
The NLC
Yes.
is a direct
It's a subset.
opposition to the government of the day from the civil society sector.
Okay.
Not as a political party. And the government specializes in shutting down opponents.
Yes.
Not with guns and... so, all of it is called politics, all of it is called strategy. So, in the country we are in, what sectors, and that's where we are headed.
Yes.
We are looking towards a one-party leviathan, where that party is too big to be confronted in a democratically multi-party system. And sadly, even Adams Oshomole, he defected into into APC
because he wasn't with the
APC at the I didn't want to, like I told my I don't like interrupting an analysis. Oshomole is an offshoot of the Labour Party. And that's where our laws are criminal. Anybody elected, whether senator, whoever, as long as you are elected from one party, you are allowed to defect into another party. When you defect, you lose all the benefits of that election and go there as an ordinary person. Nobody will defect. Even the Oshomole by now will still be with Labour. And it does not approximate that a leading voice in one place must be chairman or whoever of a party. As we speak, I don't even know who is the head of the Republican Party in the US. Donald Trump personalizes that party. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu personalizes the party he is representing now. So, Henry, if you look at opposition parties versus Labour in their relationship to... You are here now. The PDP has a meeting in Abuja. Minister Wike tells you that venue is not valid. They never knew it was not valid until an opposition gathering were ready. So, some of these anti-party frustrations, anti-democratic frustrations, weakening opposition and claiming credit is the witchcraft that is bringing Nigeria to his knee. You see a state like Delta, in their history, only PDP have won elections. Today, all the principals have defected into APC. And the noise is Delta, APC will win come 2027. Will all the voters whose political culture it is since 1999 to be voting PDP be conscientized and converted to vote? They saw the APC all the years while voting the PDP. So as soon as the governor, 3 senators, and all the House of Rep people and co-defects versus the total number of voters in a state, is that not a political insult to millions or hundreds of thousands of voters versus people you can count on your finger, and you just say, having defected, this state now belongs to this party? It tells you that a governor now can thrive on incompetence and then defect to a party with the most powerful war chest and rigging machinery with no accountability to his people can win that election again.
So what you're saying, in essence, is it's a Trojan horse to what's happening to the NLC right now.
Right away. I have repeatedly said that individuals in civil society organizations, I just told you now, the government is interested in who heads Trade Union Congress, or Pengasan, or Nupeng. Some of these people in Nigeria, garbed as labor leaders, are dining with the politician. It is not wrong to go dining, but when I say dining, that is my figure of speech for how the hobnobbing goes. And so, where you think somebody should lean towards labor and the masses, push comes to shove, are leaning against the people they should defend and in favor of the government.
All right, so beautiful. So let's wrap up for today. Mr. Yonuga, what's your final words on this just before we call it a wrap?
Well, my final word is that one, the government did not cripple NLC. NLC crippled itself.
Okay.
Anywhere. People are free to move wherever they want. Our constitution guarantees that much freedom of association. That the oppositions have failed in their duty is not the fault of the party in power. It is not the party in power that will be organizing weekly or monthly party meeting on behalf of the.
Are you still there? Hello, are you still there, Mr. Yunuga?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, please.
I'm still
just
here.
wrap up. Yeah.
So, as a politician myself, I can tell you for free, apart from coming on TV to come and gallivant, there is no opposition party. If I can't speak for the entire Nigeria, I can speak for my local government, where I once contested for the House of Assembly seat.
Okay.
In my local government, we have 15 wards and 112 polling units. And I can tell you that there has not been any meeting of any of the major opposition parties, be it ADC, Labour Party, or PDP, in the last 6 months in any of the wards. So they can come and speak big grammar on TV. Meanwhile, the party in power, like it does even before becoming party in power, still consistently hold monthly meetings at ward level. Even at ward level, I think it's twice a month that they hold meetings. Then at local government level, they hold it once a month. So a party that holds meetings, that carries the people at the grassroots along, when they succeed, yes, it is easy to blame Beaver's manipulation, to blame rigging, to blame this, to blame that when people fail. But he who failed to plan has planned to fail. Before the last election, apart from contesting, I contested in 2019. But before 2019, I worked as INEC adult staff in 2015. I worked as INEC adult staff in 2011. I worked as INEC adult staff in 2007. So when you say anything about how election goes in Nigeria, yes, I'll be lying to say there is no form of rigging or the other that has gone on in the past. But the fact is that rigging is only successful when the opposition does not even have infrastructure on ground. When I contested and I lost, I wasn't angry. I wasn't blaming anybody. I only blame myself because I knew that I was ill prepared for it.
But sorry to interject here. I would love you to juxtapose your not winning that election to what you had done right during your SUG, campaign. People voted for you to be the SUG president because you were popular, not because of your rival that had a better party or had better everything. Right? You won because people respected you. People knew that you had what it took to make the university better. So don't you think that the opposite is what is playing out today in politics in Nigeria?
No, it is not opposite. When I became the president of my campus, the College of Engineering. That was one polling unit, just one polling unit. It is easy for me to manage. It is easy for me to handle it, you understand, apart from being popular. When I went to contested for the overall SUG president of the whole university, I was SUG president of the College of Engineering.
Okay.
When I went to contest for the overall SUG president, it was a different kettle of fish. I won in 3 territories out of 5. But because the 2 most important territories where the largest vote block come from, I could not clinch it. So the same thing with this one. I had only 80, what do you call these people that will help you man your polling unit? Party agents,
yes.
Out of 112 that I need to have. Meanwhile, normally I'm supposed to even have two party agents per polling unit. I only had one party agent per polling unit. And I wasn't able to even give them proper money for lunch. And so when they became hungry in the afternoon, Right in my presence, me, even myself, I ate the food that opposition cook and brought to the polling unit now.
So would
So
that
why
would
would I
that have
blame?
made people not vote for you?
Why would I
Really?
blame? Why would I blame my representative from eating their food? We saw in the last election where Dino Melai did not even come out to vote for himself in the governorship election. Then you blame and say it's because some magic happened somewhere. It is easy for us to say this thing. I attend meeting all the time, and on the grassroots level, not some street or peripheral level, I see that many of these opposition do not have anything to offer because they are not even having party meeting at local level. So they will just bring 20 journalists and say they are having world press conference, but their ward and polling unit is somewhere in Gombe, somewhere in Imo, somewhere they are not, nobody is there at all. It's not existent at all. We can continue to deceive ourselves. 2027 will come again, and the usual winner will win again, and then we say it's manipulation. But the reality on ground is that NLC is the one who has put itself in this current predicament, and to revive themselves, they need to go back and start doing the job for which NLC was formed, which is fighting for labor rights at companies level. When they fight for labor rights at various company level, they can then build the critical mass of workers whose trust are now reinvigorated that, okay, this union will truly fight for us when we are in trouble. So if the union needs us to down tool for a national cause, we must heed the call of the union because the union usually heeds our call when we need it to. But a union that does not heed the call of workers should not expect workers to heed its own call when it needs.
Beautiful. Thank you so very much, gentlemen. I truly do appreciate you both for your time. You wanted to add something?
No, my comment is I agree with Paul Ayonuga.
Okay.
The labor union should launder its image with the right reputation.
Okay.
I am proposing from this table that there should be a law in Nigeria that strips anybody who defects from one party to another in an elective capacity to lose that position.
All right, so we hope that that might be possible with amendments. Lots of people have said we're tired of amendments. Maybe let's rewrite something new. So we would get off this amendment thing. But of course, that is the issue that we have, and we hope that Nigeria would be a wonderful place with all of these things going on. Thank you so very much, Mr. Olubenga Paul Ayonuga. We truly do appreciate you and giving us your time despite the very busy schedule that you have. We truly do appreciate you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so very much. Innocent Aduluba. Awesome. Thank you for making the date with us.
The pleasure is mine.
All right, people, that's just about the time we have. I'd love to say thank you to you for being here, for staying tuned. And please do well to visit us. If you may, you can find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally rewatch this, download and share to your friends, your folks, if you may, when you visit us at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Igwebike. Thank you once more. Have yourself a splendid day. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. I'll see you on another episode. Bye-bye.